As I'm sure a lot of you are already aware, we live in the post-Ozempic world, which means that we have the privilege of witnessing the last dying gasps of the body positivity movement. And unfortunately, it's going to die slowly. It's going to be a struggle. So recently, a so-called skinny influencer by the name Liv Schmidt got banned from TikTok for supposedly glorifying disordered eating and body dysmorphia. She made what I eat in a day videos, she made workout videos, and just generally promoted the idea of being skinny as a good thing, something to aspire to, which is rare in our day and age. She calls herself a flat stomach enthusiast. She said it's not a sin to want to be thin. And
that's a t-shirt if I
she even rhymes nice.
She has a lot of good catchphrases. She's clever, but she was getting a lot of backlash from people who say that wanting to be thin or seeing that as a good aspirational goal in and of itself is harmful to young impressionable viewers. So she got banned shortly after the Wall Street Journal wrote a profile on her. Her skinny videos divide TikTok, and she says they're what viewers want. Liv Schmidt grew a following with posts about staying thin and her daily diet. Some users said her content promoted disordered eating. But she just says, I'm giving the people what they want. I'm being real. And people are tired of pretending that looking good isn't important to them when it obviously is. I believe the science, and scientists with the introduction of Ozempic have proven actually that calorie restriction is the key to weight loss.
Well, look, did you know that Lizzo addressed the Ozempic claims apparently?
Oh, what did she say?
Yeah.
Does she deny it?
So it says in a carousel post, Lizzo included a video of herself smiling for the camera alongside a cheeky caption that says, "When you finally get Ozempic allegations after 5 months of weight training and calorie deficit." She captioned the clip soundtracked by a popular TikTok audio of Christoph Waltz's character in Django Unchained saying, "It's like a reward."
So she's working for it. She's not going to take the easy way out.
She says, Ozempic or Coke? A fan, she says.
Well, Lizzo, even if Lizzo can cop on to the fact that being fat isn't cool anymore, it's time for the rest of society to wake up.
Yep.
It's healthy as well.
Now, experts and dietitians have described Liv Schmidt's content as reflecting, quote, an unhealthy devotion to being thin. Critics argue that Liv glamorized disordered eating by emphasizing the importance of staying skinny, leading to calls for the removal of her content. As a result, TikTok took action by shutting down her account, citing violations of community guidelines related to her posts about, quote, disordered eating.
Yeah.
And that's when I knew I had to take up this girl's cause.
You're like,
because
we're going to get her channel
It's a worthy
back.
cause.
She does not deserve to be censored like this. And then she made a second account, which already has tens of thousands of followers. So clearly there is an audience for this.
Yep.
They interviewed one of her followers who was 20, and she was saying, we all have the option to block people if we don't want to see their content. And this girl is just being very real and honest about what it's like to eat a calorie deficit, which isn't the same thing as having an eating disorder. Some people just can't seem to grasp that idea.
Yeah. It reminds me of this thing that we covered a couple weeks ago. YouTube restricts access to fitness videos.
Yeah, and it's bizarre because,
insane.
like, if this girl were promoting eating disorders, she wouldn't be making workout videos. She wouldn't be showing the food she's eating. She seems to be a totally well-adjusted person.
She'd make finger covers for gagging yourself. So
right? Like, we're not exactly
content.
promoting anorexia here when you're posting what I eat in a day videos and showing completely normal portion sizes.
Yeah, I'd say, like, those can be extremely toxic. The what I eat in a day videos.
Oh, isn't there that really super thin, gross lady? Oh, what's her name?
Eugenie Cooney.
Yeah,
you know.
She's on TikTok, right?
But she's on YouTube. She's not banned.
Right. It's bizarre that this woman got censored for promoting like portion control and working out, but Eugenia Cooney is allowed to stay on YouTube with no age restriction on her content for years, literally on death's door. Like, that's insanely hypocritical to me. They interviewed a clinical psychologist for the New York Times piece about this TikToker, who said they're very vulnerable to things on the internet, which was their way of connecting because of the isolation they had. She's saying young people, their lack of socialization, and they think this girl is their best friend.
Yeah.
Another one's they interviewed said
that's one of the things about really, really successful internet personalities, right? Is they connect with you in a way that make people, especially people who aren't well balanced, think that they're good friends with you, and that's not really what the relationship is.
Sure, but I just don't see that in her content. I watched plenty of her videos. I don't see anything objectionable in there.
Mary's like, please don't ban her. I get tips from this woman.
Yeah, I mean, I never heard of her before you sent this story to me, but she seems like a good influence if we're comparing what's available right now on TikTok. But this says, compared to the pro-anorexia content of the early 2000s, Liv Schmidt's rhetoric is, quote, a lot more subtle and nuanced, but equally as seductive.
Is there a world that these people live in where anything that doesn't just reaffirm what you already are is like a good thing?
Yes, where
or
they
does
are today.
everything just have to be about how no matter what you look like, you're perfect just the way you are?
No one actually believes that, though. You know, like that's so insulting to treat people like children. And
I say that all the time, right? It's like you should have a healthy desire to improve at something in your life, be it physically, mentally, professionally. The idea that you can just sit around and everything's perfect just the way it is isn't how human beings have advanced to the places we've gotten to in the world.
Mm-hmm. And what's ironic about this situation is she was banned for, quote unquote, community guidelines violations of disordered eating. Meanwhile, people with all of these other eating disorders are allowed to stay on TikTok as long as they're not thin. And that brings me to the ARFID trend on TikTok. People claim to have ARFID, which stands for Avoidant Restrictive Food Intake Disorder.
Everything's got to have a name.
Yes.
And essentially what it means is that you're just a debilitatingly picky eater and you refuse to eat anything except chicken nuggets and fries.
I always knew that I had a disease.
And they're usually obese. These people that claim to have ARFID are usually obese.
I always knew that I had a condition.
Well, now
for your nuggets and your fries?
you can go on TikTok and get a ton of sympathy for it. So instead of growing up and like trying new foods like normal people would, you can just say that you have a disease and you have no control over it.
I love those videos where the girl's making like she's like, I ordered a chicken sandwich with lettuce and they gave me fries. Have you ever seen those videos?
No.
She pretends like she didn't order these things, but she's like, and then they gave me this, so I guess I'll try it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at this What I Eat in a Day with ARFID video, though, and just see that this is allowed on TikTok.
So, full tweet. What I Eat in a Day, ARFID edition.
They always have to do the pause and smile.
With the Stanley.
Full transparency, y'all. I have really been struggling with ARFID lately. So for breakfast today, I had some Mary Ruth vitamins. Around 5, I started to feel hungry, so that means it's time for my favorite time of the day. Protein mac.
5 in the morning or 5 in the afternoon?
PM. We're talking.
It looks kind of bright.
So I start by weighing out the pasta. Then I get some vegetarian chicken strips out and throw them in the air fryer. This is the pasta that I've been using. And this is the cheese powder. I get it on Amazon. Look how beautiful. With some sugar-free honey mustard, because honey mustard is the elite dipping sauce. Next up, look at my beautiful bowl of plums. All right, so I got a bunch of different kinds of these recently, and I'm going to test out a couple tonight. I didn't even know they made green plums. There was also a donut peach in there. Okay, moment of truth. Is it any good? Here's the thing. Not really. I tried so many different kinds and they were all just so bland. Except for the donut peach. Those are good every time. Since I was disappointed by the plums, I tried this apple. It was so mealy. Ew! So I threw it away. Womp womp. And I got more cherries. It deleted the last clip, but I also had a Fiber One bar.
She sounds like she is 340 pounds, you know? That's the way her voice
I'm sorry.
is.
I just don't believe that this person eats for the first time in the day at 5 p.m. Like, I don't buy that.
There's no way in heck.
You're just lying.
Unless
That's
you
what
just
I think
woke
is toxic about the What I Eat in a Day videos is only if you're lying about what you eat. Yeah. If you're lying about what you eat, that's toxic.
Yeah.
And you maybe should be banned. not.
I mean,
you
it's
know,
unfalsifiable. You can't prove it. Like you'd have to have somebody.
There's no proof, but I don't
I want
believe
to be
this
hired.
woman.
I want to be hired. I want TikTok to hire me as like a private investigator to go like look and make sure that that's actually what the people making
Yes.
those videos are eating
There you
today.
go.
And what I just
Investigative
saw
reporter.
is a morbidly obese woman who only eats ultra processed foods and gags at the thought of eating a fruit. And she can post her what I eat in a day video with no issues whatsoever because no one's jealous of her. That's the truth. People got, people were mass reporting Liv Schmidt because they're jealous of her
Yep.
and her skinny lifestyle.
Yep.
And you can post these stupid ARFID videos
How do
all
you
day
feel-
long with no pushback.
How do you feel about ARFID? Back in the day, it was just called being picky.
Yes, picky.
Everything has to have a pathologized label now, and you can just absolve yourself of all personal responsibility for being an adult and learning to cook food by putting this label on it that they put in the DSM.
I would rather you just
Wait,
say.
that made it all the way to the DSM?
I mean, I looked up the clinical definition, and
Wow.
the experts have spoken.
Like, I'm just going to be picky and eat picky and be completely okay with that. You don't need to tell me I have a disease.
There's this weird intersection of like health influencers with right-wing Twitter. So I do get a
Yeah.
lot of these crazy takes about health and diet and lifestyle all the time that are all contradicting each other. And one I recently saw claimed you don't need to be in a calorie deficit to
Saw
lose
that
weight.
one.
This is just blatant lying and grifting. Because, if you genuinely believe that, you probably were never fat. And in that woman's case, I believe she never was. Or you're just outright lying to make money off of people who
That
are
was the
too
lady,
dumb
the
to know
person
better.
was saying it was about
ding,
metabolism,
ding.
right?
She said you should be drinking a liter of orange juice a day and at least 2,000 calories if you're a sedentary woman.
A liter of orange juice a day would just give you the worst acid.
Yeah, your stomach could be all
reflux
effed.
ever.
And it's just I don't even know what to say to that because it's just so blatantly not true.
Hey,
Don't listen to the
Yeah.
influencers. Don't listen to the nutritionists. They make money off of you not fixing your problem.
Yeah.
So why would you trust them?
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.